Action. Hi guys, welcome to Shine with Njoki Kamanja Ken. Thank you so much that you pressed play and you're able to see this video. Thank you so much for the support that you have given the other videos. So now, today we are going to talk about a very sensitive topic that many people sometimes discuss and think that people don't have respect. And I want us to discuss about black tax. I am going to give you the meaning of black tax once we start the main topic. And the reason I started this is because people do not know how to differentiate between the boundaries of finances and responsibility towards our relatives or towards our parents. But today I want us to understand how far is too far when it comes to finances, as parents, as relatives, as friends to a certain person. So stay tuned to this video because we have a counselor, Trizah Macharia, who is going to enlighten us on this topic. So stay tuned. How are you?
I'm fine.
You are looking peng.
Oh,
You are looking lit.
glory to God.
So today we have a calm weather as we are recording this video. Kindly say hi to, in case we have a new subscriber, so that we can dive into the topic.
Hi guys.
It's always a hard thing when I tell you that.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what to say. Yeah, but thank you for those of you who have been supporting this channel and supporting Njoki in her beautiful work that she's doing. And karibuni sana.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for gracing us once again.
Yeah.
Today we are going to talk about black tax. Most people who might not know what it means when you say black tax, this is what the Google says. Black tax is a term used to describe the duty of a black child to support their extended family financially.
Yeah.
Supporting their elderly parents, educating their siblings, building family homes, funding their sibling businesses. Imagine now, in your generation, it would be like one sibling is the one who made it. So Trizah made it to college, she got a good job, and in the surroundings I always saw that person becomes like the financier of everyone who is related to them and even the community. But right now some people are getting depressed because they don't know how do I put boundaries without feeling guilty. That if my mom told me she has gone to a chama and they require her to give 2,000 per week, that I cannot do it. How I want you to like give us a scenario in your generation and why in your generation it was that way, and maybe I can give my own scenario in my generation.
Okay, I would say for me, personally, I don't have that experience. I come from a family where my mother was very stable economically. So maybe a generation earlier. But I saw my mother support her mother in many ways. My grandmother was also a hard worker, but I saw my mother educate most of my aunties, taking them back to school. We lived with some of my aunties at home. Some of their children, we stayed with them for periods of time, and so I can understand how that used to work. And I think it comes from the cultural belief that we bring up children so that they can take care of us when we are older, or when they are stable, then they can take over. But unfortunately, for most cases that I know, it's like the parents would bring up, and the firstborn immediately they begin to work. Mzigo ni yako sasa. Now educate your siblings. Now it's up to you to send us money, and that I think was taken. It's now that you're calling it black tax. In those days, it was my responsibility. Having gotten an education, I owe it to my parents to give them a better life, to ensure they are not lacking in the village, now that I'm the one who's earning. But it came with its own disadvantages, because there were people who now and most of the conflicts in marriages would come up because ukiolewa, the income the parents were getting sinapungua.
Yes.
So now they start hating on your wife. You're the one who's making us
You are
not
eating
get
our son's money.
what we were getting before.
Yeah.
But what you're calling black tax is an African cultural way of thinking.
Okay.
That once children are able, and you can see it from the tradition,
It's true.
People had big shambas, so that when you have many children, you have people to take over the work of digging, and now you become wealthy just seated because you invested in children.
When I look at it in my generation, we are being termed as the woke generation. Like, we are able to learn about so many things. We are educated, we are liberated, and we are learning boundaries in my generation. And most people, I feel like they are misinterpreting. When I put a boundary, I look like I'm being disobedient. I look like I'm not doing what is normal. And in my generation, I think we have come to an understanding of, yes, I have gone to school. I have a salary of 40,000. This 40,000, I have married, or I got married. This salary is supposed to be split between my parents, my siblings, my cousins, my aunts, and it is depressing so many people to a point you end up hating your relatives. If your mom calls you, you feel like you have anxiety. And because I don't want us to run from the fact that it is good to take care of your parents.
It's a blessing.
It's the only thing you can do. Like, even if you're not doing it financially, calling them, telling them, I hope you are okay. Do you need something? But now I want us to dive to the point of how far is too far when it comes to that responsibility. Because you see, I cannot tell my children, no, you people are not going to go to school because you know cousin so and so is going to Australia and I'm the one who's going to pay the air ticket. Now you children are going to be eating sukuma wiki every day because you know Shosho aliingia chama ya 3,000. Because I have seen, even now, if I'm the only person who is educated and has a job, I end up even getting sick because I don't want to feel guilty telling my parents or my relatives that I cannot. And I know it is a very sensitive topic because I don't want us to make people feel like, at the end of the day, it's not my responsibility to take care of them. I want us to know that it is good to take care of them, but at the same time, you need boundaries. And one of the reasons I brought this topic, a lady told me, I do not know how to help a friend had approached her. I do not know how to help my friend because the husband is taking care of literally everybody who is related to them. So first of all, tell us, how do I communicate the boundaries of how far? Because I believe it comes with financial abuse.
So whom are you communicating to?
If it is the parent, how far? Like, you know, they cannot take 10 chamas and maybe I'm earning 20,000. You see, how do I communicate? If you have to go to a chama, this is how far I can help you. If it is the relatives, the aunties and the cousins who want to come and go to university, this is how much I can help.
First, let's go back and say it is a blessing when you're able to help your parents.
It is true.
It really is. And sometimes, like, you might not come from a family where your parents might need financial help per se, but it really feels good. Maybe from my generation, I'm at that age where now when my daughter comes and brings me a phone, it really feels good. I didn't ask for it, but the fact that they're able to think about me and invest in me, it shows appreciation. So much as we would want to educate ourselves out of helping our parents by tagging it, and I think black tax it is what people are calling it, but really it makes it look like a bad thing. But it is not. I know people who build their parents' houses even before they build their own. And those people have been blessed. Having said that, I know that parents can also be quite demanding. And actually last week, I was teaching in my ladies group about how we need to take care of the stages of our lives, so that at some point, and I think we either did or will do that video, at a certain stage of our lives, we don't become bitter and we become a burden to other people. But if you come from a family where your parents are really dependent on you, then it's good to be open and transparent. This is just how far I can go. Because as a young person, your parents either invested or they failed to invest. Either they ate what they should have invested and are now struggling for a reason. Or maybe every opportunity they got, they used all of that to advance you and your children. But the fact that you are not there depending on them, that you're able to take care of yourself, should be satisfaction for every parent. That as parents should not demand. If it comes, then we should really appreciate. But if it doesn't, then the joy of knowing, now I'm no longer in charge of your food, I have educated you, you're able to take care of yourself and you're out of my house, then that should be satisfaction enough for a parent. For the child, I'm thinking, Njoki, it should be a show of appreciation. But even showing appreciation, where your parents demand more, you should tell them, this is my limit. Considering that you should have savings, so that at your, this black tax thing, we bring it to an end. It starts with, when we say me, it means even you. It starts with you. And if you don't want to depend on your sons when you're at their age and become a problem to them, then you need to have savings.
But we have these relatives or parents who will guilt trip their children. Nikakulea, I gave birth to you, I carried you 9 months, and then now I am just asking for 3 chamas. You cannot take care of them. And you see, as a child, you'll feel, I don't want my parent to feel that way.
You see, I'm not telling, and why I said, you just allocate your money. Allocate your money. Learn to budget for your money. Whatever little you're getting, that there's money that goes to savings. And this is how much I need to save at the end of the month. If you're having a salary, like you said, 40K. In your house, how much are you paying for rent? How much are you setting aside for your food and for your transport? And how much are you setting aside for school fees? And then how much, also allocate the amount that you need to help giving. We call it giving. After you've removed your tithe, tithe is not giving, tithe is paying. So that one is not even talking about it. So after you have set aside the amount for your usage, how much have you set aside for giving? And don't tell me that you can give outside when your parents don't have. No. They say blessings begin at home. So when you have set aside that much, all you need to tell your parents is, after I have paid all my bills, this is what I give you, is what I have left. Because your savings is your bill. You know, you have also budgeted for your clothes, you have budgeted for, so this month, this is how much I'm giving you. And don't fall for intimidation. Because parents, we can be very intimidating. One time I tried to manipulate my daughter to do something. And
tell us that story.
And I started by telling me, unajua vile nilikubeba, you know. And she told, Mom, I never applied. I never applied. By the way, me, I was just there in heaven, minding my own business.
With Angel Michael.
And then you call me.
You said I want that one.
So you don't, it's wrong to say you don't owe them, but the truth is it was their joy to have you.
Actually, they call people to come and see you.
And children should not work hard
Yeah.
so that they can support their parents. They should work hard to make sure they are independent.
Yeah.
So that now whatever I was investing, I was spending on your school fees,
Yeah.
now I can be able to eat well.
Yeah.
Now I can, finally this load is off of me. But yeah, draw your limits, tell them, and stand by what you have said. Because I've seen people borrowing, taking loans.
True.
In fear of curses. The Bible says that a curse that you have not earned never gets to rest.
Now, I have seen some young ladies. It's too much. This thing of paying even relatives, financing their businesses. To a point now, they do not want the young men. They just want a rich man somewhere. It doesn't matter whether he's 70, as long as he can give me the cash and I can send. I want you to talk to now these relatives. It doesn't have to be a parent. You know, sometimes, like for me, my parents have never called me to tell me, you know you're supposed to be sending 1,000 by date 5. I have not experienced it, but I have seen people experience it to a point now they do not, they are like, let me now waste my life just because of the parent. Talk to these relatives who also feel, you know, we are living in a communal setup as Africans, whereby if I'm going to university and my parents are not able, they'll call for a harambe. And now the relatives will be feeling entitled to this degree. Oh, she got a job, she's a manager. Sisi tumepona.
Vile nilikuambia.
Hata ni mimi nilipa fare yako ya kwanza. So let's talk to these relatives.
The fact that you
and also the neighbors who brought maziwa,
who brought milk, and they feel like when they're in Nairobi, I don't have 500, nitumie please, and you're feeling entitled. It is wrong to feel that sense of entitlement. Because when I help my neighbor, do you know there is a sense of gratification that is payment enough for myself. And if I don't, people naturally are selfish. We don't do anything without the gratification. Without what am I getting back? And sometimes what you're getting back may not be instant, but I'm sure when they come, they also remind me. Hiyo sense of pride ndio mshahara yako. Wacha kusumbua watu. Wacha kusumbua watu. We don't give. What of the people you gave and they died? Au watakulipia wapi?
It's true.
The purpose of our giving is what the problem is. If then we are giving with the hope that the day this person works, they should pay me. And I've even had people complaining, hey, na vile niliwasaidia alipata kazi, hata anakujanga amepita na hiyo gari yake ameenda kwa mama yake.
Anaingianga usiku na anatoka asubuhi mapema.
You are not entitled. You helped. And if you look at your life, I love a portion of scripture that says that if you are rewarded, do not do things so that you can be rewarded by men. Because if people praise you, then that is all the reward you will get.
It's true.
But you look out for God's reward. Kiswahili wanasema tenda wema nenda zako.
Now, it mostly happens to, I feel like females kind of make it to boundaries, but males sometimes are not able to. And I'm sorry, I might feel like it's an attack to men, but it is not. I feel like most men will be like, so end month, if the wife is asking for something and they're like, unasikia mamangu anaitisha pesa ya kahawa alafu, ama unasikia mamangu anaitisha pesa ya chama alafu unanipea stress. How do they manage themselves? Because as much as now people are asking for money from home, how do you now first manage yourself before taking care of them? Because I believe now because you have a family, you must have first to take care of this. Let's talk to men and teach them how to know how to communicate that.
This calls for a family with very good, what we call financial intimacy. When we talked about intimacy, we talked about financial intimacy. Now, financial intimacy means me and my husband, we are so bound together that we plan everything to do with our finances together, and everyone sticks to the agreed plan. Now, if there is a family, the more financially intimate you are as a couple, the more you are able to draw the boundaries surrounding your giving and surrounding the support that you're giving to your parents. Because that should be agreed upon. So that your parents, you remember where we started, we said, so that your mother doesn't say, since this person married so and so, akubalingi tusaidiwe, it is the wife, since bibi yake atakangi tupewe, and they even start scrutinizing how the wife is dressing.
Unaona hiyo kitenge, hiyo ni adhabu.
Huko ndio pesa za fulani zote zinaendaga, ndio hawezi saidia mate. So how you draw those boundaries? First, agree. And we said we are Africans. Let's not think it's oppressive.
Is our business.
Let's not think it's oppressive to send our parents something.
It's not.
It comes with a blessing. So what you do is you agree. Agree that this is how much we will be sending to the parents at the end of the month out of our budget. So hold one another accountable. And so that as a husband, you're not manipulated by your people. The boundary is drawn by using your spouse. So you tell your mother, we will talk with so and so, and she will send it to you. So that when the mother now wants something from you, they know they either go through your wife, or even if they ask, it has to go through a family. The same thing with the wife's side. That maybe I'm the one who's making more money. My mother doesn't just decide and say, nitumie pesa ya majani ama pesa ya kahawa, hii ndio ninahitaji hii mwezi, and I'm there doing it in secret. Akiniambia hivyo, I tell her, we will talk with my husband and see whether we will be able to do that this month or whether we'll be able to do it next month. So this month you can decide as a couple, ile tunawatumianga, we will not send my parents this money because your mother needs it more urgently. I will talk to my parents, send them a little to make them survive. So all the amount that we send to parents, we will send to this one parent this time. Now next time, all the money goes to the other parent. So you are drawing boundaries as a couple, but you're also helping one another to draw boundaries as individuals. Because my husband now knows he can't go sending money to his sister without going through me. Every amount, and the people outside now, you're also drawing a boundary. Ule wachana ewe, ukimuuliza atakwambia wataongea na bibi yake.
Tena akiongea na bwana yake huyo alikaliwa.
So there'll be, of course, conflicts that will come, but you have protected. And when you're able to plan your money, and you have saved, and you have built your own home, and you're comfortable, you'll be able to give them more. Isn't it? So now you will, kama kuna maneno walikuwa wameongea, wataona ni kwa nini. Mwambia, you know, this is what we needed to do so that we could support you better. Na sasa, Njoki, your parents right now could be either in their early 50s or in their very late 40s. So if they're at that stage now, they don't even need as much of your help as they will need earlier. So as a person, if you don't draw the boundaries and fail to invest in yourself, when they need your assistance more, you will not be able to give it, because you'll still be struggling with rent. You'll still be struggling with your education, with the education of your children. Now your children are still younger. So make them understand that what you're giving is the only amount that is available. Unajua uendi ukitangaza mshahara.
It's true.
So if I give you 10,000, how do you know I gave you half my salary and now I'm surviving on only a half? So that is one of the ways of drawing boundaries. Realizing that now you're a grown up, I don't have to communicate to my father everything. If I tell him I earn 100,000, he might demand 90, thinking you survive on 10 this month and give me 90 to meet my needs. But also make them know that now I'm an independent person, and if you don't want me to come back here, because there's instability of work, kazi zinaisha. COVID season, ni watu wangapi wamepoteza kazi? If you worked in Nairobi, Njoki, shamba ya mawe, all your life, and sending all the money to the village for your parents to eat well and drink, and then the job ends,
you'll go there.
Si unaenda hapo. Sasa ile wangekuwa nakula peke yao, muanze kugawana. Haujawasaidia na haujajisaidia. So invest in your future. Invest in investments that will enable you to earn more. So that what little you're giving them, even if they are complaining now, with time it increases, wataenda wakinyamaza. Ukifika mahali umejenga kwako, now you have lose money on you, and now you are investing in building them a better home in a time when they cannot do it for themselves. Si utakuwa umewasaidia. So drawing the boundaries is for their good as much as it is for your good.
This girl has found herself maybe pregnant. I have to take my child, and I'm like, Mommy, just take care of this kid for a while before I get my life together, and then maybe I'll come back and pick the kid. Or we have an agreement they'll be staying with the kid until a certain duration. So there are parents who take it as like, this is the time for me to say that anakunywa maziwa lita 3 in 1 week. This is the time for me to enrich myself. How does this person whose kid is with a parent communicate that as much as you people are taking care of my kid, this is, because you see it's very complicated. Because they could tell you, kuja mtoto wako basi. You see, how do you communicate around that? Because I have seen people say, Mia, the minute I took my kid at home, it's like now I don't have a life. Yeah.
And I say we do these things to ourselves. That parent, it is an extra burden. So even if you are used by them, it's because you allowed it. Getting children out of wedlock may not be something we can help for some people. But if possible, realize that your child is your responsibility. You're not supposed to complain that they are taking advantage. If you feel you're being taken advantage of, then you take your child and live with them. Because sometimes, if you have never raised a child, you don't know that it is expensive to raise a child.
It is true,
It is quite expensive. I'm saying this knowing this is a double-edged sword. There are parents who do take advantage. But that, now, if you are in a position to take your child and you feel you will spend less with your child with you than you are spending with them, take your child. Your child actually needs you more than
them.
They need their grandmother. Actually, you are even destabilizing a child by allowing them to be raised by grandparents. However, for the parent now, it would be very wrong. I know it's an added responsibility. Like now I keep telling my daughter, mimi ukaleta mtoto, I will be so happy umeniletea mjukuu, and I'll be very happy. But I'll make you pay. Because I raised my children. I am done. Mimi nilimaliza maybe you are even the last born. Manapi, kukojolewa viti, those things I'm past them. And then now you bring this to me. So I think some of the ways the parents use is to console themselves. Ni mimi anafanyisha hii kazi saa hii. And maybe it's an unconscious thing. Hata yeye ajui kwa nini anasikianga tu kudemand pesa kutoka kwako. Because as parents we are supposed to be caring. But it is actually burdening your parents, making them do that work at that age and stage in life. Bringing up a child again is not cheap. Because some of the people who complain that amezaa kwa katoto kamoja. Kwa hivyo anashindwa, kama me in Nairobi I'm surviving on 100 shillings a day. Lakini anasahau labda mmeniachia mtoto wa miezi 3.
It is true.
I can't give that child anything else but that milk. Na unataka, I want to have a healthy child living with me. Kwa sababu tena asipolishwa vizuri, si atakuwa mgonjwa. Things that I would do without if I was on my own. When I have your child, I can't avoid buying them. Sometimes I'm feeling unwell. I need someone to come and help me out with the chores that I would naturally be doing. So I think it is all of that.
Wow. Thank you so much, because you have made us understand that when a child is communicating boundary to the parents, the relatives, the sibling, sometimes they do not mean, it's not in bad blood. It's only the far they can go. And at the same time, for us to understand that it's just an appreciation when you help your parent. Because it was very sad when I saw a story of a lady who took the mother, 97-year-old mother, to court. And I was like, what? For what? It was just a very, I don't think it's, I'm not saying that it's okay for parents to wound their children, but now 97-year-old, kumpeleka koti, maybe they don't even have many years, they only have 1 or 3 or not many. What are you doing? So let's not feel like our parents are being a burden to us, but it is okay to communicate boundaries, so that they know our child is, because I don't want parents to push their children to a point where they are going looking for sponsors. They go, people are on dating sites looking for wazungus because they want money from them, so that they can finance their families. I don't want parents to push their children to that limit, to that point. And also I don't want children to feel like it's not their responsibility to appreciate their parents. So thank you so much for giving light to this topic, because I know it's a very sensitive topic, and people will be like, you people don't want people to help their parents, you people want parents to continue making us slaves. So thank you so much for giving light, and God bless you. Yes, so I hope you have learned something, you as a child, how you are going to handle that issue on finances with your relatives, siblings, and your parents. And as a parent, how far is too far when it comes to finances with your children? So God bless you. Remember, you're the light, and you can shine. This is Shine with Njoki Kamanja Kethi.
Shine with Njoki Kamanja Kethi.